All right. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. It's 8 a.m. over here on the west coast of the US. It's 11 on the east coast. It should be 5 p.m. in France, 4 p.m. in the UK. We can go on and on and on and do every time zone if you want. I'm Frederick. I'm the CMO of FullEnrich. I'm just going to do the intro and hand you off to Michael, who will be shepherding us through the next 30 minutes. So, Michael, can you take it away?
I'm hearing everything you're saying, and then I'm hearing it again 10 seconds later. Is anybody else getting that? Hello. Are you hearing us once, or are you hearing us once and then again on a delay? No one else is? That's just me? Okay.
You're the problem.
I did not hear that because that is going to drive me crazy. That's a me problem, I guess. Well, welcome, everybody. And thank you for everybody for providing your feedback there.
If you have any problem, typically you can blame it on Michael, everybody. It's a safe thing to do because you're probably right.
This is going to drive me crazy. Okay, cool. I have to find a way to do this without my headphones.
Do you want to go out and back in, Michael?
Yeah, let me do that. I think if I leave, it ends it. So I don't necessarily want to do that.
No, I'm the one making it live or unlive. I'm the puppet master is me. Everybody, Michael is new to technology, so please forgive him for discovering webinars in general. Thank you for joining us today. We are just giving people a couple more minutes to join us. If you were one of the unlucky ones that joined us last week for the first of this kind, yes, Scott, it's a classic, obviously. We're trying to keep this 30 minutes very casual. We want to make it as much of the conversation as possible. It's not a place where we're going to sprint you through a forced demo. We want to make it a place where you feel like on a weekly basis, it's a place you want to hang out with, or get in, and people you want to hang out with. So you can expect some news from the industry, obviously a few tips and tricks on the product. We're not completely selfless. And please chime in if you have questions, if you have ideas, if you have comments. We want to make it as bi-directional as possible. Although this tool doesn't necessarily make it easy to be completely interactive, but the chat is here for you to express your thoughts, and we'll make sure to tackle any questions that you leave there. I see a couple names that I recognize. Estelle, thank you for joining us. Estelle is on our team over in France, and she's one of the magic hands behind the product that you guys are using. And if you're not using it yet, hopefully you will start using it at the end of this call. I'm trying to see what's up with my friend Michael. He's back. He's back on mute, but hopefully we'll get something out of him now. Michael, can you hear us now? It's a smooth episode today. Oh, he's out. I'm going to run out of fillers. So anybody who has a topic they want to talk about, please put it in the chat, and I'll try to occupy the space with it until Mike Jones is back. Okay. He's apparently having a hard time getting back in. Let me do something here. Neil, so if you want to have a one-to-one demo, you can go on our website. There is a talk to sales button at the top right corner. and then you can choose the time that works for you, or you can just drop your email here or send it to me. I put it my email in the chat, and I will connect you with the right person for one-on-one demo. But thank you for asking that. Michael can get in, but bear with me for a second, people. I'm anxiously looking at the count of people that are actively on the call right now, and hopefully hopefully you give us a little bit of your patience. So, we have an agenda today. We're going to shift the topics around a little bit to accommodate for Mike's, technical struggle. One of the things that we wanted to share today was how we using FullEnrich internally, not just how we recommend other people do it. And one of the use cases that I wanted to share with you is that of inbound traffic that comes to our website. And so what we're doing is, the question that we had was, we have a significant amount of people coming to our website every day, every week, and every month. And obviously, the majority of them don't leave us their contact info. They don't sign up for the tool. They don't request to talk to sales. But we can tell that there's some interest from them because they make the effort to come to the website. And so we built a little workflow that is powered by FullEnrich, and here's how it goes. When people come to the website, we're using a tool we call we don't call it. That is called RB2B. And that what RB2B does is it detects who the visitor is. There's limitations to how many of them they can actually uncover, how many they can, almost reverse engineer. But overall, they probably deliver somewhere around like 40% of the traffic that comes anonymous back to us and say, hey, this is Michael from the US, and his email is michael@gmail.com. And most of the time, there's not much you can do with that much information until you know who Michael is. And so the workflow that we built is pumping that data out of RB2B into FullEnrich to do a reverse lookup, which means in our lingo that I take a personal email, a gmail.edu, you name it, and feed it into FullEnrich for FullEnrich to reveal who the professional behind this email is. So it would be Michael Peppery. It's michael@fullenrich.com, and here's his phone number. From that moment on, what we do is we take that information and feed it into Instantly, which is the tool we use for outbound emails. And we send a very simple message. Say, hey, Michael, we just saw that you, paid us a visit on the website. Thank you for coming here, and would love to get in touch with you to understand what you're looking for and how we can help. And this is a very simple workflow that is surprisingly effective when it comes to creating engagement with new leads and getting interest from them. You can make it way more sophisticated. You can have a qualification step in it where you only want to talk to the people that hit your ICP criteria, you name it. But we kept it simple for a reason. We thought, better cast a wider net at the beginning and then figure out who the people that are actually interested are. And it's been fairly generous to us. Okay, Mike's computer has officially crashed. Obviously, this is how it goes always. We'll try to figure that out. Maybe you can join from his phone. I apologize to everybody. This is as bad as a webinar can go. Try to troubleshoot that with him. Any workflow you guys are using today where you are maybe or maybe not using FullEnrich, but where you feel like, I get a lot of signals, I don't really know who are behind the signals, and I want to make sure that I understand who I'm talking to. I'm really curious to know how you guys are handling, either the similar use case that I described or another one that you think is worth sharing with the team. And as you do that, I will try to get my friend Michael back in. Mm-hmm. Here we go. All right. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you for your understanding. I feel like, you know what, this is something I'm going to do, and my finance person is not going to be happy with me. But I think, at least for your patience up until this point, and hopefully Michael joining us in a minute or two, please, I put my email in the chat. Like, send me an email. I drop you 1,000 credits for you suffering through this first 11 minutes. I'm very grateful for you taking the time out of your day today to join us, and I feel terrible that you have to experience this. So Frederick at FullEnrich.com. It's in the chat. Don't be coy. Don't be shy. Send me an email. I drop you 1,000 credits. At least you won't feel like it was a total waste of your time. And thank you for your patience here. I'm going to go back for a minute to the agenda that we had together. One of the things that Michael was going to show you, again, in the spirit of sharing how we use FullEnrich internally, is a very simple but very powerful integrations that we have using Zapier between FullEnrich and Slack. The use case that we had, particularly our salespeople and to a second degree, the marketing people. Thanks, Neil. Is that we oftentimes, get a hold of somebody and we don't have all their contact info. Maybe it's somebody that we connect with on LinkedIn. Maybe it's someone that we, are meeting with at an event. And really we have one-offs like this. And we feel like, hey, we should initiate or continue the conversation with them. So what we created is a very simple Slack integration. And if Estelle could speak on this call, she would tell you how she built it. But it's a call from Slack via Zapier to FullEnrich that says, hey, here's the LinkedIn URL of that person. Tell me who they are. And press send, and it's coming back to you with the full, contact detail of said person. And we use it every day, multiple times a day. It's very easy to set up. It's almost instant, and we're using it like across teams. For the price of one, you have two people from FullEnrich now, assuming that Michael's figured out his technology snafu. Mike, you're almost there. You're on mute right now. So if you want to say something, do it. Otherwise, I'm going to keep filling the blank and the void. Oh, it's not there yet. Igor, awesome. Thank you for your email. Is that fair to assume that you already have created your FullEnrich account? Because if you did with this email, then I can add you the extra credits in about 20 seconds. Just confirm with me, and then
Hey, all right, great. Can you hear me now?
oh, miracles happen.
All right, lesson learned. Sorry, everybody. Am I interrupting, or are you running through some tactical stuff?
You can take it over because my armpits are so sweaty right now that
I'm so sorry.
No problem.
My computer fully crashed. So apologies there. I'm going to take the best use of these last 15 minutes we possibly can. I do want to go over some things that I planned on talking about. One is some non-business related things that I think is always good to talk about, which we're probably a little late for now, but a book that I love, that I really highly recommend, How We Got to Now, which talks about innovations that changed and shaped our world. So a book that I highly recommend. Every week we're going to talk about TV shows, books, movies, things that we're interested in. I highly recommend this book. For anyone who likes history and innovation, this runs through 6 innovations that have shaped our world. One that I'll just take 2 seconds to talk about is glass. And Fred, sorry, I'll help you here. Let me get. Are we able to make me the main speaker so we can give you a little bit of, or the main visual in the picture? I feel bad having you up here so long, but cool. Glass is a really interesting one. So glass on the island of Murano back in the 13th century, the government in Venice decided we're going to put all of our glassmakers in one specific area. That community of glassmakers eventually figured out how to make glass clear, which on its face seemed like something really interesting and it would be maybe useful. What that led to, that innovation of glass being made clear, led to glasses, which allowed people to read, which helped spur on the Enlightenment. It led to the birth of the telescope so we could see the stars and understand our world better. It led to the microscope, which allowed us to be able to see bacteria.
Do you mean putting the title of the book in the chat?
Yeah. How We Got to Now by Stephen Johnson. I plan on taking a little bit more time in the beginning to talk about that, but you just the innovation of glass being made clear allowed for hundreds of years of productivity and continued innovation just off that one thing. Now, each chapter talks about how we got to track time and tell time properly, cleanliness, how we started to avoid infectious diseases as people, which a lot of that happened in the 19th century, not too long ago. But a really interesting book. Scott, yeah, we'll get right to best practices. All right, well, let's just do that. So we started talking about, and Fred, you touched on the Instantly thing, right?
I did, and I also mentioned the Slack Zapier integration that we use every day.
Great. Okay, great. Obviously everyone, especially it seems like a lot this week and last week, have been talking about Claude and MCPs. And that ties in, I think, really well into, yeah, we have a list builder. Well, your outputs are only as good as your inputs, right? For anything data related, and especially when you're talking about creating lists. It's like, all right, if we want to create the best lists, I highly recommend this exercise. If you have Claude, I would do this today. If you don't have Claude, I'd look into getting it and connect your CRM to it. Connect your, I ran this exercise myself and it was phenomenal. Connect your CRM to Claude. Ask it, hey, go and find me where I have had the most success. Where are all my closed won deals coming from? Who am I closing deals with? And provide me that persona. Provide me a guidance of the list I should be creating. So go back the last 6 months, tell me my closed won opportunities. There's so many signals that we have in our world today that are outside of our CRM, that are outside of our sales engagement tools. And yes, a lot of them are great, but we have gold within our CRMs. So when it comes to building lists that are going to be the most effective right now, I highly recommend just getting historical data from where you're already being successful. Pop into Claude, connect your CRM to it, take that persona and build that list with FullEnrich's List Builder. You can get back specific titles and personas and regions, company sizes, industries, that will all come back from Claude from it reading your CRM data. And again, just when you look at a list builder, look, we've got 360 million contacts in our list builder. We've got 40 to 50 million companies in our list builder. So I highly recommend start with where you know the gold is, and the gold is in your systems. It's in your CRM, it's in your sales engagement tools. Who are you booking meetings with more often than not? Where are your closed won deals coming from? Tactically speaking, that is something I highly recommend, performing that exercise, you yourself, or if you are in RevOps, or bring a RevOps team into an exercise like this. But I highly recommend taking advantage of Claude as soon as you possibly can. We're heavily focused here at FullEnrich on building our MCP server capability so that it can communicate very well within that environment. But I highly recommend doing that. There's a piece of there's a couple elements here that I wanted to go over too, just in terms of what's going on at FullEnrich, where are we going to be over the next few weeks and months. And in my crashing of my computer, my event pages died down. We will be at NVIDIA's GTC conference. I hope I'm pronouncing that using the right letters there. And again, so sorry for all the technical mess that I've created here with my computer crashing. Obviously threw me through a loop here. But I do want to give an update on where we're going to be over the next coming weeks. The NVIDIA GTC conference is the conference I'm referring to in March. We'll be there. We'll be at SaaStock in April. We also have an event in Paris. I believe this is next week, Fred.
The Paris event.
With Clay, the After Dark.
Yes, it is next week. Absolutely.
We can put do we want to put a registration link for anyone that's in France? Can we pop that into the chat here?
Yeah, I will do it right now. Keep going, Mike. I'll get that done.
Okay, cool. In part of our rundown, what I wanted to talk about was another link that is gone from my my history here. This is a headline here that I think everybody should be aware of. And at this point, everyone that is here with us is just watching me flounder around my computer. So thanks for everyone who's probably being greatly entertained right now by. But take a look at this story here. And I think this is something everybody on this call should be, aware of, talking about internally. What happens for large enterprise organizations, and there may be some of you on this call who fall into that bracket. But what the shifts that they start to see and how they're discovered and how they're found are something that eventually is going to apply to the rest of the market. I highly recommend taking a look at this article about how LinkedIn has abandoned its traditional SEO as 60% traffic loss and forces a radical strategy shift. So take a look at that article when you get a second, read that through, share that with your executive team if you're not on it. I think it's something that especially those on the marketing side of the organization need to be made well aware of. We have at FullEnrich, we'll be in San Francisco next week live without all these technical difficulties. So please do join us next week and know that we'll never be in the situation that we were in today. We're really excited about next week. We have 3 new go-to-market hires that are joining our organization that we'll introduce them next week. So our team is expanding and growing, and those are going to be around support areas and in the partnership development area as well. So we're excited to bring some more folks onto the team next week. Are there any questions from the group here? Is there anything regarding FullEnrich that we can handle for you for the last few minutes in this chat? Again, please accept my apologies for the technical issues that I had here, and sorry, Fred, for putting you in a tight spot for the first 10 to 15 minutes here. But do we have any questions regarding FullEnrich, our roadmap? Again, I highly recommend that Claude input to determine who you should be building a list on. There's no better data than what's in your CRM right now. Cool. No questions from the group. Nothing about FullEnrich. Okay. Sorry for today, guys. I feel like I've, well, Gerald, thank you for that. But we take a lot of pride in, hopefully putting making it well worth your time to be here. And I feel like I've, let you guys down here today. And, but yeah, thank you for that. It doesn't feel like I'm doing anyone. It feels like I'm wasting people's time today. So apologies for that.
Yeah, everybody, if you want to take the next 30 seconds to give Mike as much crap as you can, and then we call it a wrap. But again, I want to reiterate the offer. We're very grateful for your time today. We're really sincerely apologize for the snafus. And some of you already sent me an email. I'm repeating my offer. Like, you get 1,000 credits for suffering through this. So don't hesitate to do it. My email's in the chat. And then I'm adding those credits to those already reached out. So apologize for that. There's one of those episodes. It's all uphill from here. So, if you we'll be here every week, every Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. If you want to give it another shot, we'll be here next week. We'll be both in San Francisco, as Mike said. So we'll be protecting from some of that, those technology hurdles, and we'd love to see you there. If in the meantime, if you have any particular question, any topics you would love to see addressed in any future episode of FullEnrich Friends. If you want to hang out, if you want to have time with the team and get a private demo of the tool, you can reach out to me, or you can reach out to Mike. Mike, do you mind putting your email in the chat for anybody to grab? We love to answer all of the questions we didn't get the time to get to today. And again, really thank you for your time. We apologize for the unexpected turn of events. I think, Mike, if you wanna have a last word to wrap this up, please go ahead.
Yeah, look, we just to mention our affiliate program as well. You've got a chance to earn 15% revenue share for life for anyone you send. You see that within the, oh, cool. That's cool, Gerald. You've got the chance to earn 15% revenue share for life. The affiliate program is super easy to join. You can get access to it through the settings right within your workspace in FullEnrich. So we're really excited to continue this series. Hopefully I don't get canceled by FullEnrich. I was really excited to start off, and especially for the first 10 minutes, there was a lot of interesting stuff that I wanted to cover that just didn't make sense to cover with such a short period of time to come in. So thank you again, everybody, and special gifts come in, as Fred mentioned. So thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks, Ashley, for the kind words. We'll spend more time on search next week, just so you know. So if you want to know additional tips and tricks, join us again. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day, have a great evening, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
I guess we don't have a lot of clips from this one that we can splice up and share on LinkedIn. So maybe we get.
There's a couple of awkward moments, so yes, there might be some good material, at least for people to make fun of us. Thank you, everybody. Have a great.
I'll be embarrassed and full of shame till next Thursday. So thanks, everybody.